Hey everyone, it's Chris here, and today I want to share with you exactly how I managed to build my public portfolio on Freedom24 to almost €500,000.
What?
Yes guys, 2025 was by far the best year for my public portfolio. Its total return beat both the S&P 500 and the tech-heavy Nasdaq, and its value is closing into $500,000. Honestly, I'm surprised myself just by saying it out loud. $500,000. A huge milestone that I didn't expect to hit so soon, considering I started talking about investing in early 2020 and only launched the public portfolio in early 2023. That's why today we are going to take a look at which of my investments performed well in 2025, which performed just average, and of course, how much money I made from my investments in 2025. And believe me, it's a lot. Guys, I'm very excited to be making this video and share with you everything I learned from yet another year of investing. At the same time, this is also the best way for me personally to track how I have done so far, because I don't actually check my portfolio often. Sure, I analyze companies all the time and I keep up with the market news daily, but my actual investments, I might check them once or twice a month. And that's only when I'm about to make a specific move. However, every year around this time, it's important to take a step back and look at the big picture from a distance, and to redefine our priorities, our strategy, and if needed, for the year ahead. This is my journey to a better financial future. Let's dive right in. Before we continue, if you want to build your financial future, make sure to sign up to Freedom24 using the link in the description. By doing so, not only do you ensure you're using a trusted stockbroker, but you're also supporting this channel directly and completely for free. And I've got great news! The Freedom24 offer has been renewed, and until the end of February, they're giving away up to 20 free stocks to everyone who has registered from October 1st onwards. And yes, each stock can be worth up to $800. All we have to do is deposit as much as we can to get to the highest tier. And of course, enter the promo code we'll find in the description. So that's 20 free stocks, and there is absolutely no reason to miss out on this offer. Moreover, don't forget to drop a like and leave a comment below. It really helps out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that little notification bell so you get updated every time I drop a brand new video. And as always, let's hear it from the daily disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor or legal expert. All opinions expressed in this video and on this channel in general are exactly that, just my opinions. And they are intended for entertainment purposes only. Please do not take financial or legal advice from a random guy on the internet. Always do your own research. First of all information regarding my public portfolio is available to everyone 24/7. You can follow my public portfolio live directly through Freedom24. All you have to do is sign up to Freedom24 by clicking the link in the description, and then follow the other link in the description and click subscribe on the page that opens. This way, not only will you have access to the full portfolio history, but also you will receive an email update every time I make a move. 5,000 investors have already subscribed. I think it's time for the rest of you to do so. And now let's finally see together how well the portfolio performed in 2025. Let's be honest, you only care about how much money I made from my investments in 2025. So here it is. 2025, we closed in the green by €85,000, and we also received almost 5,000 in dividends. For the record, in 2024, we received just 3,000 in dividends, which means that in 2025, we had a dividend yield increase of 66%. At the same time, we pocketed another 8,000 from the positions we closed in 2025. So with everything combined, our total profits were just under $100,000, and the total value of the portfolio surpassed €450,000. When I started the public portfolio 3 years ago, I honestly did not expect that we would get to that level so soon. Back to the portfolio now. If we include taxes and everything, the net total return for 2025 amounts to 28%. That's right guys, we did so well that we beat both the S&P 500 and the tech-heavy Nasdaq. Something not easy to do during a bull market, because we are forced to invest at ever higher prices. Nevertheless, we managed to surpass both of them. Now, I must say that this return is indeed excellent, but on its own, it doesn't really show us much. The most important thing is how we managed to achieve such a good return. Did we take on more risk? And if so, where and how much? And to answer those questions, we need to take a more detailed look at the investment moves we made in 2025. Let's go. In 2025, I invested about 150,000 euros, which came from my company's profits, which is exactly what I think all of us should do. Take a piece of our income every month and invest it in the stock market, whether the markets are up or down. I invest part of my company's profits. You can invest part of your monthly salary. It's the exact same concept on a different scale. In practice now, this means that I invest about 12,000 euros each month. Of that money, on an annual basis, about half went into the US-focused VUAA, 25,000 went into the Greek Alpha ETF, a hidden gem in my opinion, do take a look at it, and the remaining 65,000 went into individual stocks. More specifically, when it comes to individual stocks, in 2025 we opened only one new position, Amazon. This just shows how rare it is for me to find a company that's actually worth putting my money into. Throughout the whole year, I only found one new company suitable to open a new position. And judging by the results, at least so far, this approach has worked extremely well for me. Now, beyond the one new position we opened, during 2025 we also added to several existing positions, like IDTL, Visa, Google, and of course ExxonMobil. And finally, in 2025 we also closed a few positions, locking in some great profits. In 2025, I focused on further reducing the total number of individual stocks, thus further increasing the concentration of my portfolio. This way, I'm building even larger positions in companies that I trust and which, in my opinion, will further strengthen the resilience and quality of the portfolio. Specifically now, in 2025, I closed two main positions. First position I closed was JP Morgan. From this specific investment, I made a total of just over $5,000. We're talking about a total return of 166% within 2.5 years. I couldn't be more satisfied. The second position I closed was IBM. Here, my total profits exceeded $500 with a total return of over 38% in just 1 year. Now, by closing these two positions, I locked in almost 8,000 in profits, which I put directly into my favorite oil company, ExxonMobil. So I now have fewer investment positions entering 2026 with a greater concentration in my companies, striving for even further returns in the future, at least in my opinion. And now that we've seen all these moves we made in 2025, let's briefly take a look at the total returns of each position individually. Don't worry, I'll keep it short. So, as we said earlier, the largest positions in my portfolio are my two favorite ETFs, the US-focused VUAA and the Greek Alpha ETF. These two together make up almost 60% of the public portfolio. Therefore, my total returns depend heavily on the returns of these two ETFs. For 2025, VUAA came in at an excellent 17.5%, while Alpha ETF brought an incredible 55.5%. Unbelievable. Again, do take a look at the Greek stock market. In my opinion, it is a hidden gem. Regarding individual positions now, the two stocks that essentially carried the portfolio were Google and JP Morgan, which I sold on the last week of December. ExxonMobil and Visa produced returns similar to the market average, while Realty Income, Amazon and BMY underperformed. Now, as we can see, all our positions are in the green except for the US bond ETF IDTL. IDTL is practically flat this year with a return of only 0.76%. And if we zoom out, it is at a 5-year low. So let's see what happened. Price of IDTL is largely driven by the Fed's interest rates. When interest rates are high, IDTL is low, and vice versa. Now, the reason IDTL remains low while interest rates are also falling is because Fed is cutting rates slower than expected. Specifically, Fed interest rates currently range between 3.5 and 3.6 2.75%, while the market expected that we would be at 3%, meaning the market had already priced in a faster rate cut. So when that didn't happen, IDTL moved downwards. Nevertheless, Fed will sooner or later cut its rates, at least based on the data we have so far. And this, in my opinion, will cause the price of IDTL to move upwards. And that's why I'm perfectly comfortable keeping my position. At the same time, while I hold IDTL, I also receive an excellent dividend with a yield of over 4.2%. And since we're talking about dividends, let's take a look at the crescent of dividends we received in December. We pocketed $1,600 mainly due to IDTL and ExxonMobil. $1,600 in dividends in 1 month. That's almost an extra salary. And that, guys, wraps up the 2025 review of my portfolio. 28% return, beating both the S&P and Nasdaq. Now, in a future video, I will analyze my thoughts on my investment moves for 2026. So stay tuned. But before we go, I want to emphasize the following. We, as everyday retail investors, do not need to manage our investments so actively. To put it simply, we have no reason to even try to outperform the market. We don't need it. I mean, even me, if I didn't have to also produce content for my channels, I wouldn't be able to financially support the whole team of analysts that help me do the proper research and invest with such a degree of success. At least so far. If I didn't have the YouTube channels, I would simply invest everything in the US-focused VUAA. And in my opinion, this is exactly what most of retail investors should do, if they are looking to invest in the US stock market anyway. Now, of course, we can all pick a couple stocks that we like and invest in them, but we shouldn't base our financial future on them. Our financial future must be built on solid foundations. And in my opinion, the US-focused VUAA meets this criterion. And guys, the whole process can be really simple. We don't need to overcomplicate things. We can simply save and invest every month, whether the market is up or down. This way, we ensure that we capture the overall market return. And we're talking about a market that for the last 150 years has done this. Despite the ups and downs in between, in the long term, it has skyrocketed. Now, yes, it is true that past performance does not guarantee future results. It really doesn't. No one knows what the markets will do, and when investing, nothing is certain. But in life, the one thing that is certain is that if we don't do anything with our money, it will constantly lose value due to inflation, and we will be stuck in a financial dead end forever. That's why I keep shouting that, in my opinion, investing is not optional, it's necessary. Everyone will choose where and how to invest on their own, but investing our money is practically necessary.
Okay, Chris, we get it, and we want to start investing, but how can we actually do it?
Like this. So, in my opinion, the best thing we can all do with our money is to save as much as we can every single month and invest it into VUAA. VUAA tracks the S&P 500, meaning the 500 biggest US companies, automatically reinvests its dividends so it grows even faster, and is UCITS, meaning it is EU compliant. And of course, VUAA is available on Freedom24, which is today's video sponsor. In other words, we want to be investing in the entire US economy, which over the last 50 plus years has done this. Yes, it has seen some good times and some bad ones, but in the long run, it has skyrocketed. So just imagine if we had been investing at all these different points. We would have skyrocketed right along with it.
To infinity and beyond!
So for those of you who want to see step by step exactly how we invest in VUAA, the process is super simple. We sign up for Freedom24 using the link in the description. We go to the web terminal, we type VUAA, we hit buy, and we got it. So if you want to build your financial future, make sure to sign up to Freedom24 using the link in the description. By doing so, not only do you ensure you're using a trusted stockbroker, but you're also supporting this channel yourself directly and completely for free. And as we mentioned, we have great news. The Freedom 24 offer has been renewed. And until the end of February, they're giving away up to 20 free stocks to anyone who has registered from October 1st onwards. And yes, each stock can be worth up to $800. All we have to do is deposit as much as we can to get to the highest tier. And of course, enter the promo code we'll find in the description. So that's 20 free stocks and there's absolutely no reason to miss out on this offer. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. I really hope it helped you out and I'll see you in the next one.